In modern football, the relentless race to discover young talent never stops. Whoever spots a gem first gains a crucial advantage. And among the countless rough diamonds emerging from South America, Estêvão Willian has become a true phenomenon. Chelsea, driven by a bold transfer philosophy, didn't hesitate to spend £56 million to bring the teenage forward from Palmeiras to Stamford Bridge. This move isn't just a long-term investment. It carries enormous expectations right from the start. The young man, once dubbed Messinho, a nickname he's determined to leave behind in order to forge his own identity, will officially join Chelsea after the FIFA Club World Cup 2025, as he was only 17 when the deal was signed. For many fans, Estêvão has mostly been an online sensation, dazzling clips of exquisite technique, lethal finishing, and dribbles that leave defenders bewildered. Then, on the grand stage of the FIFA Club World Cup 2025, Estêvão turned those highlight reels into a resounding statement. Scoring against his future club was more than a fleeting moment. It was an emphatic declaration. In the quarter-final clash, as Palmeiras were pinned back by Chelsea's sheer power, Estêvão produced a moment of brilliance that made everyone at Lincoln Financial Field sit up and take notice. A cold-blooded strike, a goal that meant far more than just leveling the score. It was an unforgettable introduction to his soon-to-be teammates, coaching staff, and millions of Blues supporters around the world. When an 18-year-old dares to shine against a squad worth hundreds of millions, the very club he's about to join, it isn't simply luck. It feels like destiny. At this Club World Cup, Estêvão and Palmeiras embarked on an impressive run, battling their way to the quarterfinals. Although they ultimately fell short against Chelsea in a narrow 2-1 defeat, Estêvão's performance left an indelible mark. He featured in all 5 matches, scoring once and firing 10 shots, 3 of which hit the target. Those numbers alone hint at the impact of a teenager making his debut on such a massive stage. Estêvão was central to Palmeiras' approach. With electrifying speed and breathtaking skill on the flanks, he was a constant threat. In the round of 16, he had the chance to face none other than Lionel Messi, lining up against Inter Miami. And as fate would have it, he also crossed paths with the very team that will soon be his home, Chelsea. That goal against Chelsea wasn't just a flash of individual brilliance. It was a powerful message to his future colleagues and the millions of Blues fans watching around the globe. The finish combined sublime technique with killer instinct, underlining just how explosive his potential really is. In Palmeiras' opening match against Porto, a hard-fought 0-0 draw, Estêvão's light never dimmed despite a disciplined, resolute defense. Even in a tight, goalless encounter, he found ways to create danger. His outstanding display earned him the FIFA Player of the Match award, voted by the fans. It was clear proof of his star power, a magnetic energy rooted in emotion, technique, and that uniquely Brazilian flair. Estêvão was known for his smooth, elegant dribbling. Every touch of the ball is purposeful, unlocking defenses, stretching the back line, or carving out space for teammates. His awareness in attacking areas, sharp movement into dangerous pockets, and inventive passing don't resemble the traits of a raw teenager, but rather a seasoned professional with years at the top level. What makes Estêvão truly special is the artistry woven into his game. This isn't showmanship for its own sake. It's a beauty that lives in every movement. There are moments when entire stadiums fall silent, only to erupt seconds later as he slips past defenders with a feint, spins free under pressure, or bursts away from 2 or 3 markers in the blink of an eye. His time at Palmeiras may have been brief, but it was more than enough to captivate the footballing world. In 31 appearances during his debut season in the Brazilian Serie A in 2023, he scored 13 goals and provided 9 assists, remarkable numbers for any attacking player, let alone a teenager. Moving into 2025, he continued to shine across all competitions: Copa Libertadores, Copa do Brasil, and Campeonato Paulista, adding 11 more goals and 5 assists in 34 matches. This level of consistency and contribution reflects not only talent but also a maturity and resilience far beyond his years. However, Messinho is still only 18 years old, And Chelsea, with a star-studded squad, have plenty of options. One question that still lingers around Estêvão, as it does with many young wingers, is his decision-making in crucial moments. At times, instead of choosing the simple, effective option, he goes for an extra flourish or tries to showcase skills that aren't always necessary. When you're tasked with driving play or igniting attacks, maintaining precision and simplifying choices is absolutely essential. This is a lesson Estêvão must continue to learn if he's to thrive in the Premier League, a league where speed and intensity leave no room for error or excessive flair. Physically, there's also room for improvement. His slight frame could be tested in the demanding, high-octane environment of English football, where strength and stamina are non-negotiable. Yet, beyond all the doubts, there's still that unmistakable light, an irrepressible hunger to create something magical every time he touches the ball. That daring streak, sometimes reckless, always captivating, is part of what makes him so special. He's a young stallion eager to leave his mark, never afraid to take risks, an artist forever on the tightrope between brilliance and mistakes. In that sense, he shares a certain spirit with his future teammate, Cole Palmer. Both have that instinctive style, capable of flipping a game with one moment of inspiration. Palmer, of course, operates at a different level right now, but the shared creative spark is something every supporter will recognize. Estêvão's arrival brings hope of fresh energy for Chelsea's attack. Players like Nicholas Jackson, Noni Madueke, and Pedro Neto all showed flashes of brilliance last season, but couldn't sustain consistency. By contrast, Estêvão, even at 18, already demonstrated a remarkable level of reliability with Palmeiras. However, there's a tactical puzzle waiting for manager Enzo Maresca to solve. How exactly will he deploy Estêvão once he arrives at Stamford Bridge? According to his agent, Andre Curry, Estêvão chose Chelsea over Bayern Munich and PSG largely because of the promise that he'd be given a chance to play as a number 10, operating just behind the striker. The complication is that this is also Cole Palmer's role, the current talisman, who's enjoyed 2 outstanding seasons as Chelsea's main creative force. There's little reason to believe Maresca will want to displace Palmer from that central position. Instead, he'll need to find a way for these 2 instinctive playmakers to coexist. The most realistic solution could be shifting Palmer back to the right flank, a spot he's openly said he enjoys, as it allows him to cut inside and shoot. That adjustment would free up the number 10 role for Estêvão, while also capitalizing on Palmer's lethal left foot. In truth, Chelsea are in desperate need of fresh ideas across their attacking positions. Jadon Sancho has returned to Manchester United after his loan. Mykhailo Mudryk is suspended over doping allegations. Raheem Sterling and Christopher Nkunku both face uncertain futures. Meanwhile, Noni Madueke has struggled for consistency and could be moved on. On paper, that leaves only Pedro Neto, who's been plagued by injuries, and academy product Tyreek George, who still has a lot to prove. The good news for Maresca is that Estêvão is exactly the kind of versatile attacker who can slot into multiple roles. Although he's left-footed and most dangerous on the right wing, cutting inside onto his stronger foot, he was also tested as a number 10, a false 9, and even on the left at Palmeiras. That flexibility will be key as he tries to establish himself in the Premier League, at least during the early stages of his Chelsea career. In the short term, he could play wide on the right or provide high-quality depth behind Palmer. In the long run, though, he may well become the centerpiece of a new system. The day Estêvão truly becomes indispensable for Chelsea is probably still some way off. But in the end, the fierce competition at Stamford Bridge might be exactly the test he needs to fulfill his immense potential, and to prove once again that Chelsea's scouting department remains a step ahead. For the fans, he promises moments of pure joy, unforgettable goals, and above all, the hope of a brighter future for their club.